Nvidia closed about a buck oh 03 up from yesterday's trading session. All in all, end of the day, 132.83 off of that big pullback that we had at the end of day in the whole market. Now, going forward, what are we looking at in here? Well, resistance wise, we can chalk it up to that high that we printed in here on yesterday's trading session, which was at 137.4. That's going to be an area of resistance. Above that, we're looking at the 140s. That's going to make it easier there. On the way down, support wise, 130, and then we have this 200 SMA or this lower trend line here. They're both kind of in that same area, that 126 mark. That is going to be a next area of support. Below that, we're looking all the way down here, right around these 116s that we do need to revert back to eventually. But it looks like we have some good footing up in here. And if not, we should get saved in the meantime, or in the short term, I guess, by this lower trend line here. If we kind of back it up all the way on the weekly chart in here, you can see basically indecision, although we did have that big high upper wick in here that came in on the week. But overall indecision, that kind of paints a picture for what we did today as well, just kind of more indecision because we had that pop and then that big pullback on the day's end. So indecision all around in here, consolidation, kind of resetting RSIs kind of across the board on some lower volume this week. That's kind of what you usually get, I would say, as we're going into a holiday week, whereas next week, remember, we have that short week because we do have Memorial Day. RSI slowly being reset here on the daily, as we just mentioned, and it looks like this 9-day EMA might cause us a little bit of footing here, or give us a little bit of footing, not cause, I guess, give us a little bit of footing here. So if we do end up consolidating any more above this 131, or I'm sorry, the 130 area, then that 9-day EMA, which is trading right about 131, would be a nice place for us to kind of prop up. IB ranking here is at 30, right around a $2.20 expected move by tomorrow's trading session. We have earnings coming up next week after market, so that's going to be the 28th. So next week on the 28th after market, we have earnings coming up. So perhaps a little bit of a pullback in here to this lower trend line, pricing things in, and then a little pop run before earnings could be healthy for the overall market and Nvidia in here. But it's going to be a big earnings report in here for Nvidia, and it's going to kind of affect the whole market. So we kind of have to be aware of this as we're going into next week. Again, if we kind of bounce it off here to this weekly chart, again, you can see we're riding this upper trend line. So next week is going to be make or break in here. Are we going to respect this this lower trend line that we have, kind of pop all the way up here to these 148s, which is going to be our next weekly resistance, or are we going to reach back down below this and then kind of sit in this channel between the 116s and this 103 again? That is going to be the main question in here. Right around $11 expected move coming up by next week. That's going to contain your earnings cycle. If you go all the way out to June, right around a $15 expected move. July, everybody's pricing in right around $18 expected move in here. All in all, volatility has contracted just a little bit, although we're starting to see a little crack here and there, kind of in an overall market of little glimpses and spikes of volatility. So we have to be kind of aware of that and careful as we're going in here. And just remember that we do have earnings coming up next week here in Nvidia. So all in all, again, 137, 140. Then below, we're looking right around that 130 mark, and then that lower trend line or that 200 SMA on the daily chart as our next supports down here. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you're interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.